Hi guys, in this video you're going to learn about demonstrative pronouns, les pronoms démonstratifs. So first things first, what is a demonstrative pronoun? A demonstrative pronoun is a word which replaces a noun previously mentioned or obvious from the context, and which is usually used to point to something or someone. So just to make sure you understand what demonstrative pronouns are, this one, that one, these ones, those ones, the one and the ones are all English demonstrative pronouns. So, what are the French demonstrative pronouns? Well, the first thing you need to know is that as most French demonstrative pronouns agree in number and gender with the noun they replace, and French also has neutral demonstrative pronouns, that is to say demonstratives which don't agree with anything, there are 5 categories of French demonstrative pronouns. In other words, in French you have masculine singular, masculine plural, feminine singular, feminine plural, and neutral demonstrative pronouns. So, if the noun the demonstrative pronoun is replacing is masculine and singular, you need to use celui to say the one, celui-ci to say this one, and celui-là to say that one. So that's celui, celui-ci, celui-là. So for example, quel cookie veux-tu? Celui-ci ou celui-là? Je voulais celui que tu as mangé. Which cookie do you want? This one or that one? I wanted the one you ate. Celui-ci replaces ce cookie. Celui-là replaces ce cookie. Celui replaces le cookie. And as the word cookie is a masculine word in French and is in the singular form here, we chose celui, celui-ci, and celui-là to replace it. If the noun the demonstrative pronoun is replacing is masculine and plural, you need to use ceux to mean the ones or those when it means the ones, ceux-ci to say these ones or these when it means these ones, and ceux-là to say those ones or those when it means those ones. For example, tu préfères les bonbons à l'orange ou ceux à la fraise? Je préfère ceux-là parce que je n'aime pas les oranges. Do you prefer the orange flavored sweets or the strawberry flavored ones? I prefer those ones because I don't like oranges. So again, ceux replaces les bonbons and ceux-là replaces ces bonbons. Bonbon is a masculine word which is in the plural here, so that's why we chose ceux and ceux-là to mean the ones and those ones. If the noun the demonstrative pronoun stands for is feminine and singular, you need to use celle to mean the one, celle-ci to mean this one, and celle-là to mean that one. So that's celle, celle-ci, celle-là. For example, quelle chemise achèterais-tu? Celle-ci ou celle-là? Aucune, je préfère celle qu'on a vue tout à l'heure. Which shirt would you buy? This one or that one? Neither, I prefer the one we saw earlier. So what do celle-ci and celle-là stand for? In other words, what do this one and that one replace? They replace this shirt and that shirt. The word for shirt is chemise in French, which is feminine and singular. So that's why we chose celle-ci to mean this one and celle-là to mean that one. If the feminine noun you're replacing is in the plural, you need to add an S to celle. But bear in mind that that S is silent. So if you're replacing a feminine plural noun, you need to say celle to mean the ones or those when it means the ones. You need to use celui-ci to mean these ones or these when it means these ones. And you need to use celle-là when you want to say those ones or those when it stands for those ones. For example, je préfère celles que tu m'as montrées hier, celles-ci ne sont pas aussi jolies. I prefer those you showed me yesterday, these aren't as pretty. In this example, I was referring to flowers, which is a feminine plural word, hence why celle and celle-ci were used to replace it. So let's talk about neutral demonstrative pronouns. The first thing you need to know about them is that they are only used when what they replace is not specific. In other words, when what they replace is either a whole phrase or it hasn't been previously mentioned. Basically, when you don't know which word specifically it's replacing. For example, someone could say to you, "Could you move that please?" pointing to a pile of books that belong to you, in which case that could refer to books, or it could refer to your stuff, or maybe something else. You also need to know that neutral demonstrative pronouns are the only ones able to replace phrases. So the neutral demonstrative pronouns are ceux, which becomes C' when the following words starts with a vowel. Ce and s both mean this and it. Ceux-ci means this, and ceux-là, or the contracted version ça, means both that and this. So when used with the verb être meaning to be, you need to choose ce or the C' to mean this or it. For example, its would be c'est, C''est. Ceci is very rare. It's only used when the speaker wants to emphasize the difference between this and that. If not, ceux-là, or the more common contracted version ça, is used to mean both this and that. For example, donne ça à ta mère de ma part, give this to your mother for me. The reason we're using a neutral demonstrative pronoun here is because what ça replaces hasn't been talked about before, so we don't know specifically which word it refers to. For example, if what was being given were the flowers pictured here, ça could stand for flowers or it could stand for tulips. Si j'étais toi, je ne ferais pas ça, c'est une mauvaise idée. If I were you, I wouldn't do that. It's a bad idea. Ça and the C' or the English equivalents that and it all stand for a whole phrase, which is most probably something like what you're about to do. So the fact they stand for a whole phrase is why we chose to use a neutral demonstrative pronoun. Cela me fait très plaisir. That makes me very happy. Mets ceci ici et cela là-bas. Put this here and that there. Je n'ai pas vu Olivier depuis plusieurs semaines. Cela m'inquiète. I haven't seen Olivier for a few weeks. That worries me. Notice that in the second example we have used ceci. This is because the difference between this and that here is important and so needs to be emphasized. So how do you use demonstrative pronouns? Compound demonstrative pronouns, that is celui-ci, celui-là, celle-ci, celle-là, etc., can stand alone. In other words, they don't have to have other words following them. For example, j'aime celui-ci, mais je n'aime pas celui-là. I like this one, but I don't like that one. Demonstrative pronouns can be used to express possession or origin. If used in that way, the demonstrative pronoun needs to be followed by the word de. For example, quelle équipe soutiens-tu? Celle de France. Which team do you support? The one from France. La maison de Luc est plus petite que celle de Pierre. Luke's house is smaller than Pierre's. This sentence would literally translate to the house of Luke is more small than the one of Pierre. In most other cases, the demonstrative pronoun needs to be followed by either the relative pronoun qui, meaning who, que, meaning that or what, or dont, meaning that, which then needs to be followed by a dependent clause. But please bear in mind that this is not always necessary after a neutral demonstrative pronoun. For example, celui dont je te parle est plus grand que ça. The one I'm talking to you about is bigger than that. If the English sentence has about in it, then you need to use dont to mean that. Otherwise, use que. Ceux qui ne sont pas sages seront punis. Those who don't behave will be punished. Cette fleur est celle que j'aime le plus. This flower is the one I like the most. This is the end of the video. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. And if you liked it, please subscribe, like and share. And don't forget, you can also find me on Twitter and Facebook. Thanks for watching. Bye!